To it, like always, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor, so please do your own research and make your own decisions. To get us started, we're going to be taking a look at the NFT market and some OpenSea analytics, and we can see back on February 1st, we actually hit a local top right here at $247 million, and then ever since then, we have been seeing somewhat of a decline in the NFT space in terms of volume. We're just coming off a $117 million day, and that would kind of secure us in a 50 to above 50% decline in volume that we have been seeing in terms of NFT sales. Now, something to note, we are still seeing pretty good volume compared to December and November, so that is a positive sign, but at the same time, it's still something to take into account when we see a sharp decline like this. Now, taking a look at the monthly volume for OpenSea, we can see back in January, we just had an insane month for NFTs, hitting close to $5 billion, and then right now, we are roughly at around $1.3 billion in terms of volume. One really positive sign that I am seeing from all of this is that the total monthly active traders on OpenSea is still climbing pretty heavily, right? So at the time of recording, we are at 295,000 users that have made one single transaction on OpenSea, right? And our high is back in January where we saw 546,000. And keep in mind, we're only 9 days into February, so that is a pretty good sign, and we might hit an all-time high here once again. And that's just a little brief overview of some of the analytics and data behind the NFT market right now. And as we can see, numbers do seem to be declining here just a little bit. It seems that the NFT market is cooling off from its insanely hot month in January, which I think is to be expected, right? We can't just have up only forever. We're going to have points in the market like this where we're going to see cycles where it goes incredibly high, but at the same time, we are going to see declines as well. We'll talk a little bit more about this later on in today's video, but it's definitely somewhat correlated to what we are seeing in the cryptocurrency market at this very moment. If you are not paying attention to cryptocurrency right now, we're currently experiencing a little bit of just a little bull run right here. We can see Bitcoin is at 44,000, Ethereum at 32,000 at the time of recording, up from their lows of around like 2,100 or 2,200 for Ethereum and then 32,000 for Bitcoin. So cryptocurrency is performing pretty well right now. Moving on, we're going to do some rapid fire news and talk about some of the most important news stories within the NFT space. If you're new to this, I'm going to list all of those news stories, and then at the very end, we're going to pick two and talk a little bit more about them. So up first, we have Nike suing StockX for selling NFTs using unauthorized sneaker pictures from Nike products. The NFTs that StockX released included Nike sneakers, and it seems that Nike wasn't too happy about that. Now, StockX wasn't exactly selling NFTs of the sneakers themselves. It was only some sort of utility token, but still it's some sort of gray area as of right now, so it's going to be interesting to see how this lawsuit plays out. Moving on, we have Nintendo, a massive gaming company that has announced that they see great potential in the metaverse as well as NFTs. The company is exploring different avenues in how to build within the metaverse, but it says it's in no rush and wants to get it right. This is another major gaming company that has decided that they will begin exploring the metaverse and NFTs. Moving on, we have the NFL announcing that they will be offering virtual NFT tickets at the Super Bowl. We can see what these look like right here. This one is associated with the LA Rams, and there is another one that is coupled with the Bengals. Next, the popular NFT account on Instagram at NFT was officially banned by Instagram for violating its terms of service. This Instagram account had over 1.7 million followers and was somewhat associated to Mark Cuban, so there was a lot of talk about this in the NFT community. Moving on, we have Sotheby's announcing that they will be hosting an auction that will include 104 CryptoPunks. This will be by far one of the largest auctions and sales for NFTs that has ever happened within the space. The total value is estimated to be over $20 to $30 million for these NFTs. The auction will take place on February 23rd, and it seems that there's going to be a lot of eyes on it. Moving on, we had the World Wildlife Fund sell NFTs to help endangered animals. They released a whole NFT collection, and not surprisingly, they had a ton of backlash against it from people who are against NFTs because they think it is bad for the environment. This is definitely one of the most recognizable organizations across the world, so I thought this was a cool story to add in here. Next, we have the founders of Bored Ape Yacht Club, the most prominent NFT collection that exists in the space right now, officially reveal themselves. This comes after a BuzzFeed article that decided to reveal their identities without their consent. Because of that article, the founders behind Bored Ape Yacht Club decided to just go on Twitter and just release selfies. Now, I thought that was a very grimy move from BuzzFeed, and if you are rocking with NFTs, we do not rock with BuzzFeed. More news about Bored Ape Yacht Club. We have a report that is floating around that they are looking for funding at a $5 billion valuation. That's absolutely insane considering this brand and this NFT collection is not even a year old. Next, we have the developer behind Miranda's Gala Games announcing that they will put in $5 billion and invest into NFT expansion efforts. They announced that this is going to be split among gaming, music, movie, and theme park NFTs. Gala Games is in the process of developing some really promising NFT games such as Miranda's and Townstar. Next, we have one of the most popular metaverses that exist right now, Decentraland, announcing their 2022 roadmap, which is going to include a virtual reality app, as well as a desktop client and a mobile application. They also announced within this report that soon players will be allowed to use their NFTs, their NFT avatars, within the game. So it seems that Decentraland is on the move, and soon we're probably going to be interacting within this metaverse using virtual reality. Finally, the last piece of news that we have here today is that Larva Labs, the creators behind CryptoPunks, has filed a DMCA takedown against V1Punks. Now, something to note, V1Punks was also created by Larva Labs, but there was a mistake in the contract, so they migrated to the second version, which is the current CryptoPunks version that we see now. But it seems some historical NFT collectors want to purchase these V1Punks regardless. And because of that, the V1Punks collection has seen increased activity within the NFT space, and the floor price even climbing above 10 Ethereum. But Larva Labs did not seem to be too happy with that, so they have forced OpenSea to take it down with a DMCA notice. And those were all the major and most important pieces of news happening around the NFT space here today. Now, the two stories I specifically wanted to touch up on is Nintendo exploring the metaverse and announcing that they are getting into NFTs, as well as Gala Games announcing that they are contributing $5 billion into the NFT space. I don't know if you noticed a little bit of a trend of some of the news that we were talking about here today, but a lot of the news that is getting a ton of attention right now is circulating around gaming. And Nintendo announcing that they are exploring the metaverse as well as NFTs is absolutely huge, because this is one of the largest gaming companies in the entire world. The company owns some of the largest gaming IP that exist here today, like Super Mario's, as well as Animal Crossing and many others. The company has single-handedly created some of the most popular games that have ever existed, right, with millions and millions of players. So for them to announce that they are looking to explore the metaverse as well as get into NFTs is just absolutely huge. In a video I made in the past, I highlighted that there is billions of dollars entering the gaming NFT space, as well as the infrastructure that is going to support it as well. Out of all the industries and sectors within NFTs, I want to say gaming is getting the most allocation by far in terms of funds and money. Now, one of the reasons why I think it hasn't blown up yet compared to, let's say, profile pictures or avatars like Bored Ape Yacht Club is because I think a lot of these blockchain games are going to take some time to develop fully. A lot of these games are in the very early start of their development, and it's going to take possibly years for a lot of these games to come out and become playable. And even so, the game has to be fun and the mechanics have to be very good in order for the player to stay and continue playing that game. But I personally believe that industry is going to be just absolutely huge once we see it take off. And like I said, we have game studios and companies and other investors putting in a ton of money, like Gala Games putting $5 billion worth into NFTs and the infrastructure for the gaming space as well. Gala Games is focused on creating blockchain games, and one of the most promising games coming out of their studio is going to be Mirandus, which should be releasing within the next couple of years. And like I said in many past videos, this space specifically I am paying very, very close attention to. And I don't want to get into it once it absolutely explodes. I want to get into it right now when it's kind of quiet and not many people are talking about it. And that's because there's going to be massive opportunity to get into a lot of this stuff and a lot of these different types of games and the NFTs within them very early. I mean, let's think about it right now. The only truly successful play-to-earn game that exists at the current moment is Axie Infinity. And even so, like, it's not even the most fully fleshed out and developed game that we have ever seen. So we're literally at the very beginning of this, and it's incredibly exciting. And I'm personally putting a lot of my time and potentially a lot of my money into it as well. And if you want to learn more about gaming NFTs and see what trends I am looking at within that industry and what is going on, as well as potentially some of the NFTs that I am buying within the gaming NFT space, make sure to go check out this video right here, which goes into a super in-depth analysis on the entire space. And those were the two stories specifically I wanted to touch up on. Like I said, I'm super bullish on gaming NFTs, and I think it's going to be a massive trend that will eventually play out sometime here in the future. And with that, now let's go check out some individual NFT collections and see how they are performing within the current state of the market. I'll also be providing what I am doing within the NFT space right now. So we're on OpenSea's rankings page right now, and we're checking out some of the top NFTs that are trending currently here. Now, if we scroll down just a brief look, we're going to see a lot of red within the market, and we are seeing a decline in a lot of these floor prices for some of the top NFTs as well as for some of the lower NFTs as well. Now, to check out some new NFT collections and see how they're performing post-release, we're going to check out Carrefour, which is actually doing pretty well right now. They're currently at 3.788 Ethereum at its pre-reveal, so that is something to note. There might be a decline after post-reveal, but for right now, they do seem to be pretty well liked by a lot of people within the NFT community, and a lot of the artwork that they have teased seems to look really nice according to a lot of people within the NFT space. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see what these go for post-reveal. Like I said, they're currently standing at a 3.7 Ethereum floor price. They might dip to like 2 to even 1.5 Ethereum in my guess once people do get their NFTs revealed. And moving on, let's briefly talk about Pixelmon, which definitely was a topic of conversation within the past few days. They hosted a Dutch auction for their NFTs, and I believe they sold out at around 2.5 Ethereum roughly for a lot of those NFTs, and they netted close to $60 to $70 million from this NFT sale. And as you can see right here, it currently stands at a 1.15 Ethereum floor price, which is roughly around a 60 to 65% decline in value from its initial mint price during the Dutch auction. So people who bought in during that Dutch auction, I am assuming they are not too happy right now, considering that they are down 60% in value from the NFT they bought. Now, there was a tweet that I did want to show you here that kind of details the entire release, right, revolving around Pixelmon. It's definitely a negative review, so do keep that in mind. I'm just providing the information out there. I am not sure what is going to happen exactly with this project, but we can read right here, Pixelmon sold 8,100 NFTs at a price of 3 Ethereum. I believe it was somewhere lower than that, 2.5-ish, but we can see that it raised close to $70 million. The team is anonymous, and they say that we have no idea if they have built a game in the past or what they are capable of building. They have a website, a lot of followers on Twitter, and an active Discord channel. So that is just something to keep in mind. An anonymous team just got close to $60 to $70 million worth of capital funded into this project because of that Dutch auction sale. So I am just hoping that there is going to be a game that is going to be produced out of all of this. I would feel extremely bad for the holders and buyers of these NFTs if there is no game that is produced or if the game ends up failing. One thing I do want to say about this, and I don't know where Pixelmon is exactly going to go. I don't know the team or founders behind the project either, so I can't give a full-on conclusion on what I think about Pixelmon. But at the same time, one thing that always stands at a red flag for me is going to be anonymous founders, right? When you're purchasing into an NFT, especially if you're putting thousands of dollars in, close to 2.5 Ethereum, what is that, like $8,000, I think? Close to that, something around that. That is a lot of money, and to put that amount of money into a project and you don't know the team that is running that project, it's a tremendous risk, right? That is a very big risk that you're putting into that project and the money that you are allocating to it. There's just so many things that could possibly go wrong, and at the same time, there still is a chance that the project can succeed. Don't get me wrong. Anonymous founders have succeeded in the past, like Bored Ape Yacht Club and Deadfellas, but at the same time, there's just an incredibly high risk when purchasing into NFT collections with Anon founders. And something around this too, a game specifically takes so much work and so much time to build, right? So for them to produce a really quality and successful game is going to be incredibly difficult. And even if they produce a good game, that doesn't necessarily mean a ton of players will be playing actively on it. So that is another thing to consider. So the likelihood of investing into a game, not even just saying Pixelmon, but any game in general, and hoping that it will succeed, the likelihood of that game succeeding is actually fairly low. So that is just something to keep in mind. Hopefully I didn't go too hard on the Pixelmon project and FUD it entirely in general. I'm not sure where it's going to go. Could possibly be a successful game. I'm not sure. I just wanted to put some of that information out there as well as some of my thoughts. Another new NFT collection that recently came out and actually had their reveal was Hapebeast, right? And Hape Prime, being one of the most hyped NFT collections we have ever seen within the NFT space, officially had their reveal, and we can see all of their NFTs now. And pre-reveal, they were close to around an 8 Ethereum floor price, and now they're sitting at around a 3.8 Ethereum floor price at the current time. Now, something I do want to note about this, I did post a tweet about Hapebeast highlighting that I did not think the project was worth 8 Ethereum, right? I thought that was incredibly high, especially for a pre-reveal project. And the reason being is because I have been in the NFT space for a little bit now, and I saw the same exact thing happen with Mechaverse. Now, I'm not saying those are the exact same two projects, and this was not meant to FUD Hapebeast, right? But it was just to overall highlight the trend that we see within the NFT space, especially with incredibly hyped projects. During a pre-reveal, you're going to see so much hype within that NFT project because so many individuals are in it believing they're going to get a rare trait right within that NFT collection, and their NFT is going to be worth tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars. Once the reveal actually happens and they realize the likelihood of getting one of those extremely rare traits is incredibly low, and they don't get a rare trait and it's just a normal, let's say, ape or mecha, they're going to end up selling. And that's kind of what we saw here. You saw a lot of individuals selling their Hapes, and now the floor price declined and is close to a 3.8 Ethereum floor price. So like I said, all I was saying is that the project is not worth 8 Ethereum pre-reveal. That's all I was saying, and I wanted to point out that trend because there's a lot of new people entering the NFT space that don't understand this fact that there is so much hype pre-reveal, but there is so much risk, right? Purchasing into a pre-reveal project because you don't know exactly what trait you're going to get, and the likelihood of getting a very rare trait is just so low. So hopefully, if you are new to the NFT space, this is a good learning experience for you. It was definitely a learning experience for me during the Mechaverse project, which was one of the first projects that really highlighted this overall trend in a very, very bright manner. So just keep this in mind, and I think this is just a good learning process. I'm not sure exactly what Hatebeast is going to do from here on out. It could be a successful project, could not be a successful project. I am not sure. Just wanted to highlight that trend there. Now, going back to the overall top NFTs and the rankings page on OpenSea, we can see even a lot of the blue chips are down right now, right? CloneX down to a 14 Ethereum floor price. Bored Ape Yacht Club down at 91 Ethereum. I believe it was close to hitting like 120 Ethereum floor price at one point. So it's down close to like 29 to even 30 Ethereum, which is a pretty big drop considering all things is said and done. We have Doodles sitting around 13.89 Ethereum. I believe that's holding pretty well. We have World of Women sitting at a 10.6 Ethereum floor price. Cool Cats 10.87 Ethereum floor price. Seeing some small declines in there, but a lot of the NFT projects we are seeing within the NFT space are just down right now. And I've been telling you in the past market update videos, I felt something that was a little too euphoric within the NFT space, and I was selling a lot of my NFTs at the time. Now, I didn't sell all of my NFTs, but I was taking profits within the NFT space because I knew it was just feeling a little too euphoric, right? All of these NFT collections were going up. We were seeing trends, rapid speed, right? A lot of these anime projects coming out of nowhere, selling out, sitting at a 2 Ethereum floor price. We were seeing DAOs of selfies, right? And those were sitting at like a 3 Ethereum floor price. All of the signals that the euphoria is getting a little out of control. I felt somewhere in my gut that I knew this was going to take a decline here sometime soon, and I believe that is what we're seeing right now. Now, I'm not sure exactly how low we are going to go. I don't know if we're entering this new bear market, but at the same time, we are seeing a decline within the NFT space. Now, what I was doing during the euphoria and when we were seeing this incredible bull run within NFTs, I was looking at all of the top NFTs, and I'm continuously looking at all of the top NFTs, researching them and deciding whether or not I want to purchase in once the decline does happen. So I'm looking at collections like Azuki, Hatebeast, Karafuru, and many others in the top 100, the top 200 NFT collections that are featured here, and really trying to understand how they are working. And by doing that research, I'm going to be able to determine for myself whether or not I want to purchase once a bear market does eventually hit for NFTs. Right now, it does seem like we're getting a little bit of a taste of a market decline right now, and a lot of these collections, a lot of the top NFT collections are down in value. Now, I'm not sure if this is the bottom. I'm not sure if we're going to go down further. We are not completely sure. The NFT space and crypto space is very, very volatile, and we can't really predict much in that sense. But at the same time, when those blue chips and the projects I have high conviction in eventually go down, and I believe they will at some point, I'm going to dive in. And taking a look at the cryptocurrency market, it's kind of the complete opposite in what we are seeing within the NFT space. Ethereum sitting close to 3,200. We have Bitcoin at 44,000. A lot of these metaverse coins up 20 to even 30% in value. So we're seeing some good signs and things out of the cryptocurrency market. And I have mentioned this in past videos before plenty of times, and if you are also a person who has been in the NFT space for quite some time as well, you're going to understand that there is some correlation between cryptocurrency and the NFT market. When cryptocurrency tends to go up, we see somewhat of a decline within the NFT space because a lot of people within these two markets are chasing gains, right? And they're going to go flood wherever the gains are located. And right now, that does seem to be cryptocurrency. And that was just a little bit of an overview and my analysis on individual NFT collections, as well as what I am seeing within the NFT space. And I also re-highlighted what I am doing within the NFT space, really diving deep and researching these individual NFT collections and trying to determine whether or not I want to purchase into them when I am ready. So hopefully you did enjoy today's video and seeing what is going on within the NFT space right now, how the market is performing, and some of the most important news that is happening around the world of NFT.